Hello there, a very good evening. Welcome to Rupavhini News. I'm Chamindi Samarasekara.
Hello there, good evening and a warm welcome indeed. I'm in Rajai Surya. We start off with a look at the headlines for tonight.
The President claims no one can exert pressure on the government's strong sustenance. Its future journey to be decided in 2020. The President accepts the resignation of Bribery Commission Director General Dilrukshi Dias Vikramasinghe. The Premier says the country is to receive GSP Plus facility early next year. Former MP Tissat Naik has been remanded till the 5th of December. Power cuts have been suspended. Iraqi troops continue their operations to rescue the city of Mosul.
On to those and other stories in detail now. President Maithripala Sirisena claims that no one would be able to topple the present government. He points out that future journey of the government is to be decided in 2020. The president made these observations when he participated at a ceremony organized to vest the Mahawar water supply project in the people today. The project is being implemented with the aim of supplying pure drinking water to all in the area. The project was funded by Japanese International Cooperation Agency JICA at a cost of 10 billion rupees. The water supply project initiated by the City Planning and Water Supply Ministry provides benefits for 14,000 people in 9 Grama Seva divisions in the Mahawar zone. The President has pledged to provide solutions to the drinking water problem of villages in the area within the next 3 years. He further noted that this government's period in office is still not expired. It is not outdated. He said that his assumption to the high post of President has not even completed 2 years. The parliamentary election was held in August last year. The new parliament has just completed 1 year in office. This new parliament has integrated the 2 main political parties and formed a new government with the aim of rebuilding the country under a national government concept. There were various criticisms against the forming of the national government. He noted that he has seen some persons in media stating that the fall of the new government is nearing. The President said that it was a mistake. No one can topple this government till the year 2020. We will take a decision on where to move further during the election that will be held in 2020. He further noted that measures have been taken to restore freedom and democracy, enabling the people to live happily without fear or suspicion while developing the country.
සම්පත් වගේම මුදල් වගේම තාක්ෂණය වගේම යන්ත්‍ර සූත්‍ර වගේම මේ රටේ ජනතාවට අවශ්‍ය නිදහස ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදය සතුටින් ජීවත් වීම පියෙන් සැකයෙන් ජීවත් වීම ඒ කටයුතු අපි මේ කාල සීමාව තුල තහවුරු කරලා තියෙනවා.
President Maithripala Sirisena clarified his statement made recently expressing his dismay on allegations levelled against him. He added that various criticisms were levelled against a statement made by him when he delivered a speech at Sri Lanka Foundation Institute last week. He asked from those people as to whether they had the ability to criticize the president before the 8th of January 2015. If they talk like that, then they will have to go in white vans in 24 hours. That was the true story during the previous regime, he said, adding that we have passed that era. He added that people were not given freedom to talk to others frankly over the phone before his assumption to presidency. Ministers and ministry secretaries were in fear when talking over the phone as their telephones were tapped. We have ended that era, the president said. He added that we have given the freedom to live for such persons who were deprived of their basic rights in the society. These measures taken by the present government are valuable more than cash, he said. He noted that protest demonstrations and marches were allowed under the present administration. But at that time, such campaigns, newspapers and websites were reluctant to highlight burning issues. If they resorted to highlight such issues, then they will get the answer from previous administrator. He said that he is very happy about levelling criticisms against him, enjoying the freedom given during his period in high office. He pointed out that those people who were levelling criticism and attacks against him have failed to understand the facts correctly. Most of them have become unilateral critics. He said that as the president, he is not taking unilateral action. He noted that as the president, he is following a moderate and impartial policy. Therefore, all government institutions should carry out their activities impartially and independently. Therefore, no government official will be allowed to act partially or taking sides. It is essential to build a society enabling people to live happily without fear and suspicion, providing physical resources and daily needs. The background for this purpose has already been created. The President said that he is happy about it.
ඒ නිසා මේ රටේ රජය වගේම සියලු ආයතන වල ඒ අපක්ෂපාතීත්වය සහ ස්වාධීනත්වය තියෙන්නට ඕන. ඒක නිසා රජයේ යම් කිසි නිලධාරියෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් වෙනත් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. පක්ෂග්‍රාහීව කටයුතු කරනවා නම් ඒ පක්ෂග්‍රාහීත්වයට ඉඩ දෙන්න පුළුවන් කමක් නැහැ. ඒ නිසා අපිට රටක් විදිහට ගොඩනගන්න තිබෙන කාර්යයන් තුළ ඉදිරියට යෑමේ වගකීම් සහ යුතුකම් වලදී භෞතික සම්පත් දෛනික අවශ්‍යතාවයන් වගේම මිනිසාට අවශ්‍ය නිදහස ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදය සතුටින් බියෙන් සැකෙන් තොර ජීවත් වීමේ සමාජයක් ගොඩනගන්න ඕනේ. ඒ සමාජය මම ගොඩනගලා තිබෙනවා. මේ කාලය තුල ඒ සමාජය මම තහවුරු කරලා තිබෙනවා. ඒ ගැන මම ඉතාමත්ම සතුටු වෙනවා.
Japanese ambassador in Sri Lanka, Kenichi Suganuma, and several people's representatives were present. Meanwhile, President Maithripala Sirisena today commissioned the water purification plant built to supply clean drinking water to the people in Mahiyangana and Ridhimali at the areas. It was constructed with Australian government's concessionary loan facility and the government's financial contribution of 3.5 billion rupees.
In the meantime, President Maithripala Sirisena has accepted the resignation letter of Bribery Commission Director General Dilrukshi Dias Wickramasinghe. This was disclosed by Co-Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne at the weekly Cabinet news briefing in Colombo today. Co-Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne said that details of this Dubai account had been received by us long time ago. All the names, including the names of the Rajapaksa family, the secretaries, Rajapaksa chairman and their relatives, friends as well as stooges have been revealed. Everything has been exposed, including the total amount deposited in the accounts, and no action was taken, but some of them had tried to get credit by exposing details. He said that the President noted that the Bribery Commission Director General has requested a letter from him to be sent to the UAE King requesting him to provide account details of the Rajapaksa family and their relatives. After signing this letter, the former President has given a call to President Maithripala Sirisena and asked him as to whether he has written a letter to the UAE King seeking permission to inspect their accounts in Dubai. Minister Senaratne said that how can President Maithripala Sirisena deny it, and therefore he had to tell the truth to the former President. According to the President, only the Bribery Commission Director General knows this whole episode. He said that on the same day the son of the former President has gone to Dubai to get treatment for his leg injury. But he has gone there to withdraw money, and thereafter he went again to Dubai to withdraw another sum of money, but no action had been taken against him. But the Bribery Commission Director General is resorting to taking legal action against minor matters. The President has never spoken about independent commissions in any of his speeches, he said. He clearly mentioned the Director General of the Bribery Commission and the secretaries of the commissions. All those persons had been appointed by the President and they were instructed to act independently. The President was talking about the conduct of those persons but not about independent commissions. Newspapers and media have highlighted such commissions but not the President's actual statement, he said. Referring to the avant-garde investigations, Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne said that the President has mentioned about taking over of avant-garde company by Navy and providing security while spending a large sum of money. All those who were in the avant-garde had been removed and the report to the government analyst was not clear. Some of those figures about the number of firearms had been erased. That was a report that Sri Lanka's government analyst provided. He said that they were aware about the person who was behind the whole drama, and he said the President has made such a statement due to frustration of such activities.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickramasinghe says Sri Lanka will definitely get a GSP Plus facility in early next year. He revealed that the first round of the relevant discussions was concluded successfully. Meanwhile, the European Union has decided to grant development aid amounting to 34 billion rupees to Sri Lanka up to the year 2020. Making a special statement to local media during his tour of Brussels, Prime Minister Ranil Wickramasinghe said that 3 institutes in the European Union should extend the agreement to the Sri Lanka's GSP Plus request. Several issues relating to this matter have already been settled. Secondly, the European Council will take up this matter for consideration. He said that he met the President of the European Commission and he assured to extend fullest support to Sri Lanka in the process of gaining GSP Plus facility. We have to talk to main countries countries in the EU to obtain this facility. He said that the President, he himself and Minister Mangala Samarabira will talk to those countries. Thereafter, GSP Plus request will be taken up for discussion in European Parliament. European People's Party, European Conservative and Reformist Group are the two main parties in European Parliament. These two parties are in the same international organization with the UNP. We will talk to members of those parties separately by sending our MPs and ministers. These activities have been completed to a great extent. The European Commission is highly impressed on the government headed by President Maithripala Sirisena. They are ready to extend the helping hand to people of Sri Lanka. But we have to fulfill certain conditions and adhere to certain rules to gain GSP Plus facility, and we will be able to get it without doubt next year.
දැන් මේ වැඩ කටයුතු බොහෝ දුරට සිදු වෙලා තියෙනවා. අද යුරෝපීය සංගමේ මෛත්‍රීපාල සිරිසේන ජනාධිපතිතුමා ප්‍රධාන මේ ආණ්ඩුව ගැන විශාල පැහැදීමක් තියෙනවා. අපේ රටේ ජනතාවට අත දෙන්න ඒ අය ලෑස්ති. ඒත් මේ ක්‍රමවේදයේ නීති රීති තියෙනවා. ඒ රීති අනුව අපි සියල්ලම සපුරන්ට තිබෙනවා. ඉතින් මම කිසිම සැකයක් නැහැ අපිට එන අවුරුද්දේදී මේක ලබා ගන්නට පුළුවන් වෙනවා කියලා.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe called on European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker at European Commission headquarters in Berlaymont Palace in Brussels yesterday. Mr. Juncker said that the intention of the European Commission is to see the prosperity of Sri Lanka through the methodologies of consensual national government. He lauded the reconciliation efforts of the President and the Prime Minister. He also pointed out that the gaining of GSP Plus facility for Sri Lanka is more possible under these circumstances. The Sri Lankan delegation headed by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe held discussions with members of several parties of European Parliament yesterday. A parliamentary delegation of European People's Party was among them. The Sri Lankan Premier held discussions with Foreign Affairs Steering Committee Chairman of the European People's Party, Jacek Sarvoski. He explained measures taken by the Sri Lankan government to strengthen good governance, democracy, human rights and reconciliation fields. He also outlined the possibility of Sri Lanka to gain GSP Plus facility. The Sri Lankan Prime Minister also held talks with representatives of the International Trade Committee of European Parliament and Sri Lankan Friendship Group. The chairman of the Parliamentary Group of European People's Party, Manfred Weber, and European Parliament member Geoffrey Vando were also present. This parliamentary delegation called upon the Sri Lankan Prime Minister to expedite the program of eliminating corruption in Sri Lanka. They noted that they could extend maximum support to Sri Lanka to gain a GSP Plus facility under such circumstances. The delegation headed by Geoffrey Vando made a request from the Sri Lankan delegation to be cautious on challenges against Sri Lanka. Chief of Prime Minister's Staff and Minister of Law and Order Sagala Ratnayaka, Secretary to the Prime Minister Saman Ekanayaka and Sri Lankan Ambassador in Belgium Rodney Pereira also attended the discussions. This European Union aid is more than double the amount granted to Sri Lanka since 2007 to 2013. Prime Minister's office said that this announcement was made by the EU yesterday. The EU aid is for the restoration of the lasting peace, the resettlement of the displaced and the upliftment of the living standards of poverty-stricken people.
In the meantime, former parliamentarian Tisat Naika has been remanded till the 5th of December for 3 charges, including the preparing of forged documents. The Colombo High Court issued this order when the case against Tisat Naika filed by Attorney General was taken up for hearing today. Former MP Tisat Naika has been accused of presenting a forged document claiming a secret agreement between President Maithripala Sirisena, who contested as the common candidate during the presidential election, and the then opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe. Mr. Naika, who resigned from the post of UNP General Secretary during the eve of the presidential election, had gained the health ministerial portfolio of the previous regime at that time. Investigations were launched into the relevant forged document following President Maithripala Sirisena's victory, and he was remanded on an earlier occasion and later released on bail. Rejecting the bail application forwarded by counsels of the suspect, High Court Judge Kusala Sarojini Veerwardena has postponed the case till the 5th of December. Indictments were read out today against 4 suspects, including former Minister Basil Rajapaksa, for charges relating to the distribution of roofing sheets worth 33 million rupees during the previous presidential election. The Attorney General has filed this case against these suspects of misappropriation of money at Divinagaman Department, and High Court Judge N.V. Karunatilaka has fixed the 15th of March for the next hearing of the case. Former OIC of Narayanpeta Police Crime Division Sumit Pereira and former DIG Anurasena Nayaka, who were in remand prison in connection with the Wazim Tajuddin murder case, have been further remanded till the 2nd of November. This order was issued by Colombo Additional Magistrate Nishant Piris today, and Anurasena Nayaka has been ordered to remand prison, shifting him from the National Hospital paying ward. Focusing attention on the delay in the investigations of the Sri Lanka Medical Council against former Chief Judicial Medical Officer Ananda Samarasekara, the Additional Magistrate has ordered the Council to submit an investigation report before the 30th of November. The court has given permission to conduct a DNA test on Tajuddin's exhumed body, and meanwhile the Colombo High Court today postponed the hearing of the bail application filed on behalf of the suspect Anurasena Nayaka. Counsels of the complainant told the court that they received information relating to witnesses of the case. Considering these submissions, High Court Judge Manilal Vidya Tilaka has postponed the hearing of the case till the 9th of December.
The Minister of Power and Renewable Energy has decided to suspend the power cut with effect from today. This decision was taken following the restoration of the second machine at Norachole Lak Vijay Power Plant. 1.5 hour power cut was introduced in areas outside the city of Colombo as a result of the shutdown of Norachole power plant. The second machine out of 3 machines at the power plant has been restored today. Minister Ranjit Siambalapitiya said that Ceylon Electricity Board workers were making great attempts to restore the 2 other machines as soon as possible.
And in the meantime, the Meteorological Department predicts showers in many areas in the island, especially during the afternoon and night. And the meteorologists warned the people to be cautious of lightning. The Weather Bureau says the country is expecting rain, ending the dry weather as a result of the activation of the intermonsoonal situation. All provinces except the northern province received heavy rainfall today, and heavy rains were reported in Mathura, Gaul, Ratnapura, Colombo and several other areas yesterday and today. Thunder showers were expected in some areas during this evening. Deputy Director of the Met Department Anusha Varnakula Surya told Rupavhini showery weather with lightning activity could be expected in many areas in the island during the coming days. There was a possibility of rain in the western and southern provinces during mornings, and people should be cautious of lightning and thunder during heavy rain. No one should be in open places during lightning, she said, adding that it is essential to be in a safe place at times of lightning activity. Rural byroads and low-lying areas at the stretch from Kurunduga Hatakma to Valipanna on Southern Express Highway has been submerged owing to heavy rain received in the Gaul district since last night. Motorists have been requested to put their lights on whilst driving on the Southern Express Highway, and our correspondent reported that Udawalav area has also received heavy rain today. Meanwhile, the supply of drinking water is being continued at 6 Gram and Iladari authoritative areas experiencing heavy drought at Amblipiti Divisional Secretariat area in Ratnapura district. This initiative has been taken by the Disaster Management Ministry to provide drinking water to around 3,250 families using bowsers. Deputy Minister Dinesh Gankanda said that 100 water tanks with a capacity of 1,000 litres each were handed over to the Ratnapura District Secretariat to continue the supply of water in drought-stricken areas.
The Embassy of Germany in Sri Lanka sent an agreement with World Vision Lanka to provide bicycles to the most needed families in Chankanal, Jaffna. The project aims at supporting education by ensuring that children are able to go to school without having to walk long distances, and also for the families to use these bicycles for the transportation of drinking water. The project is part of German Embassy's micro-project scheme, which provides direct grants to support economic and social empowerment and address the immediate needs of the people. The micro-projects initiative is a key component of Germany's engagement with local communities.
And now we deviate momentarily from local news to bring you up to date on the U.S. election race. U.S. President Barack Obama has told Donald Trump to stop whining as he rejected his claim that next month's White House election will be rigged. Here is a segment on the U.S. election, the battle for the White House. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump tells supporters in Colorado that he will drain the swamp of political corruption in the country's capital if he wins in November, but continues to allege that opponents are trying to rig the election in favor of his Democratic rival Hillary Clinton.
China's at 7%. India's at 8%. We're going to end the government corruption, and we're going to drain the swamp in Washington, D.C. Hillary Clinton is the most corrupt person ever to run for the presidency. The system is also rigged by the donors, giving hundreds of millions of dollars to crooked Hillary Clinton's campaign. But they even want to try and rig the election at the polling booths, where so many cities are corrupt, and you see that. And voter fraud is all too common. And then they criticize us for saying that.
President Barack Obama replied to Donald as he hosts Italian Prime Minister Matteo Renzi at the White House in Washington yesterday.
Because I have never seen in my lifetime or in modern political history any presidential candidate trying to discredit the elections and the election process before votes have even taken place. It's unprecedented. It happens to be based on no facts. I'd advise Mr. Trump to stop whining and go try to make his case to get votes. And if he got the most votes, then it would be my expectation of Hillary Clinton to offer a gracious concession speech and pledge to work with him in order to make sure that American people benefit from an effective government. It'd be my job to welcome Mr. Trump, regardless of what he said about me or my differences with him on my opinions, and escort him over to the Capitol, in which there would be a peaceful transfer of power. That's what Americans do.
Why now?
Meanwhile, Melania Trump spoke publicly for the first time yesterday about a tape that captured her husband, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump, lewdly bragging about kissing and touching women without their permission.
He immediately came out and he said, I said it, I was wrong, and I apologize. I was not surprised in one way because, as I said before, everything was organized. Why now? Why 3 weeks before the election? And what they're accusing my husband, that is not the person that I know. Those words, they were offensive to me and they were inappropriate. And he apologized to me, and I accept his apology. We are moving on. My husband is kind, he's a gentleman, he cares about people, he cares about women. He's not the man that we heard him on the tape.
Let's have a look around Asia in 1 minute. A rally outside the US Embassy in the Philippines turns bloody after a police van rams activists, injuring at least 3 protesters. India is one of the fastest growing internet markets in the world. According to foreign media research, Google's efforts to convince people in rural areas that the internet can be crucial to improving their quality of life. China's Zhenzhou 11 manned spacecraft has successfully docked with China's Tiangong 2 space lab, and 2 astronauts have entered the lab. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi meets Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi in New Delhi as the 2 countries aim to deepen bilateral ties. Thai fashionists take up challenges of wearing black as designers rush to change their collections to follow the Thai king's mourning period, which could last as long as a year.
Welcome back, and it's in more news here at home as the Cabinet of Ministers has granted approval to change the name Divinaguma as Samurdhi once again. The relevant proposal was submitted to the Cabinet by Minister S.B. Dissanayake. Grassroots level officers implementing programs aimed at improving the living standards of low-income people have made several requests to use the name Samurdhi instead of Divinaguma. According to the new amendment, Divinaguma Department will be known as Samurdhi Development Department hereafter.
The appropriation bill for next year is to be presented in Parliament tomorrow by Finance Minister Ravi Karunanaka.
And in the meantime, the 7th day of meritorious ceremony of the late King of Thailand, Bhumibol Adulyadej, was held at Jaisekrar Amma in Maradana today. 4 Thai bhikkhus residing at Jaisekrar Amma were present at this religious ceremony held at the temple under the patronage of Thai ambassador in Sri Lanka, Nopon Achiryabanich. A Dhamma sermon and almsgiving were conducted to invoke merits on the late King of Thailand, and Thai nationals living in Sri Lanka and Thai embassy officials were amongst those attending the religious ceremony.
The All Shares Price Index closed 6,444.39 points, and dropped by 1.52 points, and the S&P SL 20 Index closed at 3,597.05 points, also increased by 5.31 points at the end of trading in the Colombo Stock Exchange today. Turnover was over 400 million rupees. Here's a summary of market details of the Colombo Stock Exchange today.
It's now for a quick look at your top international story tonight. The UN Refugee Agency says that some 900 people fled the Iraqi city of Mosul and crossed the border into Syria. This is the first large group of civilians confirmed to have escaped since the Iraqi government began its offensive to liberate Mosul from the so-called Islamic State on Monday. Up to 1.5 million are thought to be in Mosul, with up to 5,000 IS fighters. Mosul residents had been told by the Iraqi government that it may be safer to stay in the city while the operation is underway, with fears its fighters have booby-trapped roads and placed snipers on routes in and out. There are also fears that if IS militants could use residents as human shields by moving into their neighborhoods, and concerned that the group may even use chemical weapons.
IS out. Blair says the fight.
And a quick update on the world of sports. Sri Lankan swimmers won 5 gold medals in the South Asian Aquatic Sports Championship today at Sugatadasa Swimming Pool in Colombo. Swimming champion Matthew Abhisinga won gold in the over-18 boys 100-meter butterfly stroke event with a timing of 55.39 seconds. Kyle Abhisinga has clinched another gold medal for Sri Lanka, winning the under-18 boys 200-meter mixed stroke event. Kimiko Rahim was the next gold medalist in the under-18 girls 200 meters free stroke event, and Nakalanga Pires has won the gold medal in the under-18 boys 50-meter butterfly stroke event. Ramudi Samarakone has clinched a gold medal in the under-15 girls 200-meter butterfly stroke.
Weather forecast. The Met Department says that showery weather with lightning activity can be expected, especially during the afternoon and night. Showers or thunder showers will occur at most parts of the island after 2 p.m. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in western, Sabaragamuwa, central and southern provinces during the morning. There may be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize the damages caused by lightning activity.
Well, that's it from Rupavhini News tonight. More stories tomorrow at the same time. Until then, good night.